All right. Hello and welcome back to the Sunday Vibes podcast. This episode number 13, I believe. We're on number 13. The music you just heard was from Crystal Clouds. He's the sponsor for today as well. You can check out all his music stuff in the link below. Free EPs, free music for y'all to use. Just ask him, tell him I sent you. He'll for sure say yes. Other than that, we are also sponsored by Dapper Ties today. So they're going to be talked about later today. But the main attraction today is our lovely friend who came back, Nic.
I love coming back, man.
Bro, I love having Nic on the podcast. He's just like the perfect like podcaster without like, honestly, out of anyone who's ever been on a podcast, including myself, I feel like you're the most natural podcaster.
It's thanks, man. I don't know. I don't know. Made to talk to the fucking camera, I guess. I'm just made for this generation, I suppose.
You're just here.
Born at the right time, man.
Yeah,
born at the right time.
This is your time.
Fun, man.
All right. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about everything else later, but right now, the topic for today is confidence. Basically, how Nic and I have built up the confidence. Because we weren't always like this, right? But both Nic and I have built up confidence differently and through different methods to get to where we are. And, so we're on the screen, we're actually talking, we're putting our ideas out there, to the
putting
world.
our balls out there, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah, which is a lot of people can't do it.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing about that. So Nic, in your words, right? So like I said earlier, you and I both didn't, really have much confidence, I'd say, when we were younger, right?
Yeah,
Is that
not
fair
at
to
all.
say?
I mean, I can't speak for you, but for me, for sure, not much. Like zero, like negative confidence.
Negative confidence. No, I'm right there with you, dude. I had zero confidence when I was growing up. And, being a chubby brown boy, being brown, right?
That's tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's not good in America.
Yeah, especially like middle school, like right after,
Yeah, 9/11, especially being Middle Eastern in America post 9/11. That's tough, man. That's just not. White
wonders.
People hate you, bro.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least you're kind of taking the heat off of the blacks for a while, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at least you're doing them a solid.
Yeah, they had some time off.
They got to rely. Oh God, thank God for those Middle Easterns, dude.
Bro,
those white people are terrible. I'm a white person. I'm
next 20 years, we got you. That's basically all that happened.
Yeah, as long as people like fucking ISIS keep doing this shit, dude, you got the black people super off the hook.
Yeah, but so I built confidence through the way of like I literally I guess I got really good at tennis, right? And through that, when I played more and more, I was in front of more people. I was playing in front of bigger crowds. I was doing interviews for actual like TV and whatever.
What's your definition of confidence? I think that is an interesting question.
Where I feel like when I was just comfortable being outside, just being out in public, I was just comfortable no matter like what I was wearing or what I look like particularly, because for a long time, even sometimes nowadays, I wear like a sweatshirt or a sweater out about, just because I'm like, oh, I'm fat, or like, oh, I just don't feel good or feel bloated, and I put on more layers just to cover that up, or to feel like, oh, so no one can see it, right? But I still look like a beached whale from like far away. So
right. No, you're huge. Yeah. That's interesting because my definition of confidence is like the exact opposite of that.
Oh wow.
Because I think what confidence is, because I think people have like a pretty, like people who aren't confident are people who like to think they're confident, but really don't do anything that would make you think they're confident. Because it's really easy to be like, I'm confident, and then never do anything that shows that.
Yeah. Because
confidence to me isn't about comfort at all. To me, like the definition of confidence would be action in the presence of fear.
Oh.
Okay. So doing things even when you're afraid.
See, you're just so good with fucking words. Like
that's how I would put it. Because for me, it's like I don't necessarily think that I'm the greatest at anything or that I'm fucking good at anything.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like the fear of not doing this thing is like the long-term regret. Like 30 years and they're like, what if I had done that shit? That sounds terrible. As opposed to like, because everything that you are afraid to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you're like, oh no, I should do it, but I'm just not confident. It's just not me. Like, number one, you're just putting yourself in a box.
Yeah.
You're totally limiting what you're capable of doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like you have to just do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you might fucking suck asshole. You might be the fucking worst at that thing. But then you know.
Yeah, you understand. You're like, oh,
because until you go there, you're just like at this roadblock where all you're doing is like just mentally masturbating this idea of this thing you want to do, and like this fucked up cycle of excitement and fear, which is what like life is about. Life is about fear. And when you do something that you're afraid of, you get excited as fuck. It's exciting. It's like adrenaline pump. Like, here I go. Yeah. But you don't. So you keep going through this fucking crazy cycle of up and down, but you never act. And until you act, you're just going to be plateaued at this level of self-development. So confidence isn't something that like, well, you don't really need confidence to get by in life. Confidence is a necessity to becoming the fullest version of yourself.
Wow. That's very well put, honestly.
Thank you.
Because that, like, excuse me, goddamn. Thought I'd be doing this for like 2 days. But what I'm saying is, what you said exactly, word for word, is how I felt, right? That's how I feel now. Whereas, like, if no matter what situation I'm put in, whether it be like meeting someone's parents or just going out and talking to someone or asking someone for directions, you know, all from the smallest things to like having these big meetings with like these studios, you know, and all that, and these heads of studios who I've looked up to. I've never, you know, I've gotten like flustered, you know, now and then because I'm like, oh shit, right? But I've never thought to myself like, oh, they're wasting their time on me, which was like a huge thing when I was growing up. I was like, I always thought I wasn't good enough at that point.
Yeah.
I was like,
real low self-worth.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not good enough, you know, I have nothing to show for myself. Like, what am I doing? So, you know, for the longest time, that was that.
Here's what I think, man. You can lie to yourself.
Yeah.
And you can lie to like 95% of people.
Mm-hmm.
But that 5% of people who are fucking doing shit,
yeah,
they're gonna know.
Yeah.
So if you don't lie to yourself, right? If you're real with yourself about who you are, like if you're somebody who, I don't know, there's a lot of fake entrepreneurs, right? Like I'm an entrepreneur, because that's like the thing right now.
This is me.
Yeah, but even though most of them aren't entrepreneurs at all and don't do anything even remotely entrepreneurial, they're lying to themselves, right?
Yeah.
And they're not practicing their skills at all because they're afraid, because they lack confidence, right? But it's okay to them because they lie to themselves.
Yeah.
You can lie to yourself forever and you'll be the same human for the next 20 years.
Next 20 years.
And then
you'll never change. Honestly.
You just fucked yourself out of the journey of life.
Yeah.
You've like, life is scary, guys. It's fucking a freaky thing. And if you're just sitting there like, like you're just, come on, suck it up, buttercup. Fucking just go and do it.
Yeah, just do something. Like, instead of blaming other things that are out of your control, I find a lot of people, or even I was, you know, in charge of that at one point or another, where it was putting blame on everything. I was like, oh, I couldn't do this because I don't have a computer. Putting it, and
just like displacing responsibility, right?
Yeah, trying to diffuse it and just not take responsibility and
fucking own everything in your life. Own every single fucking beat of it. Like, oh my god, dude, just fucking own it. Everything.
Yeah, it's like even if you mess up, it's like you can
your
learn
fault.
from that.
It's your L. Take it.
Yeah, and then you can learn from that mess up, though. You know, that's the biggest thing here. Like, whenever I mess up, I'm like, all right, I messed up this recording. You know, an hour worth of time is gone, right? But now I know, like, not to do that, not to do this, and then that's how it builds, and that's how you get smoother. Like, it won't happen in one day, right? You won't become a master. It takes like 10,000 hours to become.
It takes a long time.
A master at.
Have you read the book Mastery by Robert Greene? I believe it was written by.
No, I have not.
Okay, anybody listening to this podcast right now that's interested in obtaining confidence or just evolving as a human being, fucking get Mastery by Robert Greene. Best book you'll ever read, hands down. Best book you'll ever read. Life-changing. Life-changing. It's amazing.
Wow.
But anyway, go on.
Yeah. So that was, you know, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, just
how
using
long it takes
responsibility.
you. Yeah.
So it takes about 10,000 hours to get good at literally anything or master something, right? That doesn't mean you can't be making money off something just because you're not a master of it, right?
Yeah, even
I
like
feel like
novices make money. Dude. Yeah.
the one thing I've told literally everyone, because I have a lot of editing people that come to me who are like, yo, how'd you edit this? Or like, how do I get bigger at editing? Or how do I land these bigger projects? One, you gotta just be confident in yourself, be confident in the product that you are putting out
put
there.
in the fucking work, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, I put in like 8 hours like a night. Like I did this.
Yeah, no, fucking
I would come home from
you're
school,
nutty, dude.
and I would be up all night just editing just random videos. Not even like any videos that came up to me, any videos that were put out there. Literally just editing just to learn how to edit, right? And that's how. And I was putting 8 hours like a night after all the schoolwork, after all the tennis practices and all that stuff. And that's how I got to where I am. And that's how. And the thing is, that gave me confidence in my ability, in my product, which was myself, or my ability to storytell, right? That's how I grew with that. Now through that, recently, with the ad block, or with the adpocalypse, a bunch of smaller YouTubers, they're not able to make money on YouTube anymore. So that's when I like switched it over to freelance work, and I was confident enough in my ability to edit. I've been very successful in the short amount of time that I have been a freelancer. I've been very successful to actually land consistent jobs.
Like they keep like you're
yeah. The people just keep coming back. They're like, yo, we love your stuff, keep doing it, we'll pay you. And I've been 10 times more successful through freelance than I have been through like on this platform. So that gives me ease of mind that I'm able to do this. But then you have all these kids who are like, yo, how do I get into freelancing? How do I do this? How do I make a documentary? Or how do I get to edit these projects? Well, first off, you gotta make stuff, right? Prove to people that your product is good, that your product is consistent, that you're not a fluke, that you can do this repeatedly over and over and over.
Right, you're not a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, just make sure you can consistently produce something, and if you can't,
little pump.
yeah, make sure you can consistently produce something, and if you can't right now, that doesn't mean you won't be able to in like a year or for a year from now.
Here's my thought, right? Here's my thought on like one-hit wonders or in any field, right? Like a comedian who really fucking smashes it, or a musician who drops a really bomb track and then his other stuff doesn't keep up. It's not that they're one-hit wonders, right? It's just if you fucking swing the bat enough at the ball, sooner or later you're gonna hit a fucking home run, right? Like it's just an inevitability of fucking playing the game. If you swing that bat at that ball enough fucking times, you're gonna hit that ball out of the field. It's
that's why you take every shot you can.
But the thing is like, okay, so they like, who's a classic one-hit wonder? Fucking like Robin Thicke. You know that one?
Oh.
Blurred Lines.
Yeah, Blurred Lines.
So I don't think that he's a bad musician. I just think that like, you have to know when to fucking strike. Like if you're starting to make good tracks, like Blurred Lines was fucking awesome. Yeah. Awesome. But he hadn't refined his skill enough that he could do that consistently. So he just flew too high too soon.
Yeah.
You have to know when to strike.
It's not like he forced it to happen, right? He's not like, oh, this song's gonna be number one. He just got lucky through that, right?
It got discovered, yeah.
But that's how you find out people who are, that's how you find the difference between people, right? You give them an opportunity to show what they're worth, and if they can't continue, if they can't carry the momentum, then they wouldn't have made it in the industry anyways.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's like talent versus skill though, and it's a real conversation.
Yeah,
because
it's like
there's like XXX Tenacian. He's talented.
Yeah, he's
just born with that shit, dude. He's just so fucking musically gifted. It's insane. And I know a lot of people hate that kid, but when you listen to his music, that shit is raw, dude.
He can not only can he do great rap, sing, his ability to go into different genres and still
navigate culture.
Oh my, it's like for some reason he just thinks differently, and he's like all into that demonic scene type thing.
It works.
Yeah, it works for him. And
it's working. I mean, it works. It's selling. Is it not selling? He's blowing up, dude.
I mean, he just recently said he won't be making any music though, because he got into like, I mean, he still will be, but
of course he will.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just like
he's
publicity.
It's just
shit.
I mean, if he's like, I don't know how business smart he is.
Yeah.
But him saying I'm not going to make music anymore, that's some crazy fucking. That's some crazy leverage,
bro. After literally, he's just did like his crazy tour. You know, he got those
and
millions
his album.
Oh my god, dude!
Was super good.
Yeah, after being so successful in such a small time, he's like, I'm not doing it. You know,
well,
and that catches even more attention.
Wasn't that whole thing like fucking music industry politics? Like they pulled some bullshit on him, and he's like, he fucking like, there's a multi-million-dollar contract, and they pulled some shit, and he's like, never mind, I'm out of the contract. I'm never making music again. Dude, that's some dude, supply and demand, dog. Economics 101, bro, right?
It's everywhere. But yeah, that's how basically, you know, you have to keep up with the times is all I'm trying to say. Like, all the younger kids are like, oh my god, how do I become a YouTuber? Or, oh my god, how do I do this?
Dude, honestly, this is my thing, and this is just my opinion on it. I don't know if YouTube is the platform for a newbie. I just feel like it's so saturated now that even if you were really fucking good, it would still be really hard for you to get that attention. I feel like there's going to be something new that comes along, right? A new platform, sooner or later. Yeah. And it's like, when that platform comes, be fucking quick on that shit.
I mean, newer platforms did come in, like, face of Vine and Musical.ly.
Yeah. And a lot of people got famous through those on YouTube. Like, they were not famous on YouTube. Like, fucking Logan Paul was not famous on YouTube until Vine, until he got famous on Vine.
Yeah, I don't think he had a YouTube before Vine, though. Him, his brother, you know, all the King Batch, you know, everyone.
I like him, man.
King Batch, he's just, I love the man for him.
Happy guy, happy fella.
Yeah, he's never in some shit, you know, he's always good, he's always killing
just
it.
Smiling. Just smiling.
The man puts out so much content. Not only does he do his own YouTube stuff, he's also in movies and TV shows.
He's good in all of them.
Yeah, like, he's killing it. He's a writer, actor, director, like, bro.
No, he's a talented guy. I mean,
he does everything that he can, and you know, that's the crazy part. But what else is crazy is how Dapper Ties looks these days. This episode is brought to you by WeAreDapperTies.com. We Are Dapper Ties is a company created by brothers Andrew and Julian who believe that feeling and looking great should not break the bank. So whether you're wearing a suit and tie daily, heading to your first interview, an advocate for classy dates, or you just like to look good, you need a dapper tie. Andrew and Julian have carefully curated beautiful designs to offer you a selection of knitted, elegant, unique, and affordable ties. Go to WeAreDapperTies.com and enter the promo code VIBES, that's VIBES, to get free shipping on all your orders across the U.S. Go to WeAreDapperTies, enter the promo code VIBES, and We Are Dapper Ties. Smart, affordable fashion. Basically, dude, they got a bunch of, like, knitted... You know how most ties nowadays are, like, silk ties, right?
Yep.
These guys, they have knitted ties.
That's fucking dope.
Like, it's not even... It's so weird. Like, I saw it, and it, like, it stands out so much. Like,
trendsetter.
It was crazy. So, you know, go check them out. Use a code. If you don't want to use a code, don't use a code. Whatever.
Buy that shit.
Have fun with it. But, so, Nick...
buy that shit.
So Nick is it's been a long time since we've had Nick on the podcast, right? And in that time, Nick has ventured into comedy.
Yep. Rapper, comedian, stupid person on the internet, all titles that I proudly wear.
Yeah, wear it on your sleeve, bro.
Yep.
How's that been? How's that treated you so far?
It's an interesting fucking art form, man.
Yeah.
It's a fickle art form for sure. So here's the thing. Comedy is a lot like rap.
Yeah.
Because your delivery is everything. And it's like one night with one crowd, you can be fucking hilarious with your content. Use that same content the next night, totally different crowd, not funny. No. So it's kind of like you have to learn how to feel out the audience. I mean, I'm pretty, like, I'm not fucking the funniest guy in the world, but I'm fairly funny, and it's interesting, man. It's fun. It's very, for me, something about being in the spotlight is, like, very intoxicating.
Yeah.
And I kind of, it's like meditation when you're, like, up there. Like
Yeah.
there's no thought here. There's no thinking going on. It's all action, which
Yeah.
is super liberating. But it's good, man. It's good.
Cool.
I guess.
So what gigs have you done? Like, where have you like done your shows?
I've done my shows at this local coffee house called Wake the Dead. They do fucking stand-up comedy every Tuesday in San Marcos, Texas.
Ooh.
Come out, bitches.
Cool.
Come on out.
Go check out Nic. Hopefully in the next month
Except
we'll be
not this
giving.
Tuesday.
Yeah, but hopefully in the next month we'll be giving Nic a visit in San Marcos. Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
But before we do that, I gotta get done with this current project that we've got going on, bro. So I told you, right? I think it's out. If not, it should be out by the time of this podcast. I swear to God. But we're filming a documentary, right? This is the first documentary.
Shit. On what?
So we just filmed it. It's following the Houston esports scene, specifically in Super Smash Brothers right now, which is a smaller subset of esports.
That is cool though.
Yeah, and we're following a friend of mine, a very old friend. He's a Smash player. He's also a event coordinator and everything like that. But we're following him throughout his adventure or his experience through the biggest Houston tournament, right?
So like very, very competitive.
Yeah, the players there were crazy. Like the number one in the nation came out.
Just real quick side note here.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like the competitive nature of humans, man, manifests in fucking anything.
Bro,
like
we made
it's
video
wild.
Games. We made the internet.
Right? Esports. I mean,
like,
fuck.
We'll turn anything into a game. I remember when we were kids and, you'd be on the pond or something and you'd, like, try skipping rocks.
Yeah.
Like, you'd make that into a competition with your friends.
Everything.
You're like, yo, I could throw a rock farther or, check this out.
What the fuck is that, dude? What if we were all just zen as fuck and we were just like, I do not care who throws a rock farther. Yeah, we don't. But we don't do that. We're like, I can throw this rock further than you, and my dick is also bigger, bitch.
Yeah, so it's like, even the ladies do that.
I have the bigger fucking boobies, bitch.
But yeah,
my ass is bigger.
So we just filmed that, and I wanted to get it out in like within a week of the actual tournament, but the dude that we were filming with, Knife, he actually had to go fly out to Boston.
What for? It's personal, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I didn't ask. He's like, yeah, I won't be here to do the interviews. And I'm like, you piece of shit. But I didn't tell that to his face. I was like, oh, man, have a lovely flight.
Yeah, but I'll say it on the fucking podcast and put that shit out there forever. What the fuck, dude? That's so bizarre.
Yeah, but no, I was like, are you serious? And he's like...
But I'll leave it on the internet forever.
Yeah, he'll see it. He'll call me out. Whatever. I've known him for like, what? I've known him since like... I was in 3rd grade.
Whatever.
That shit's, dude. Yeah, it was fucking long. Nah, it's great for him. He's the executive producer on everything, so it's pretty fun to talk shit with him.
My dog is barking.
Oh, it's okay. Doesn't matter. Your dog's hyped for the.
Do you want me to stop this dog, or you just want to keep going?
If the dog can stop.
No,
I don't know.
I'll
The dog
stop.
stops. Okay. All right. Thank you. But yeah, so while he's going to do that. So for the audio listeners, Nic just left the camera or left his station.
Love y'all fuckers.
And he's
Oh, I'm sorry, fans. I had to go do dog dad duties.
You know how it is, but pets are always.
You know how it is.
Yeah, pets are. You can't be mad at pets half the time.
No, right now he's staring at me like he's fucking pissed as shit.
Like, you told me to shut the fuck up.
Never get a young dog. They never run out of energy ever.
Damn. I'm actually, I've told you this, right? For the longest time, I've wanted like a German Shepherd. I'm not gonna get one yet.
Don't do it.
But
you're too busy. Yeah. You're way too busy. For
I know, and not even in 5 years. I'm pretty sure, like in 15 years, I'll be like good enough to get a dog.
For that dog, dude, dogs are a lot. They're great.
I know. I had one when I was a kid, and it's like that's a lot of work, especially a puppy.
Dude, I'm real quick. We're gonna go back into this documentary thing, but I just want to enlighten everyone listening to this. You all need to go get a kiwi and get in the shower with a kiwi, the little tropical fruit that looks like a ball sack. Yeah, or nut. But anyway, you fucking want to buy one of those things. Get in a hot shower and just like an animal. It's honestly like
what does that do?
you feel so alive. You feel like you're in a time machine and you've reconnected with your roaming ancestry, like your paleo fucking ancestors. You just feel so savage.
Wow, I never.
It's real shit. I know it sounds weird.
No, I can understand it. Like a kiwi's like that.
Because you don't have to worry about.
Perfect.
You don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about cleaning it up, and the juice is just running on your chest and shit. It's good. It's something to try out.
Bro, I'm honestly gonna try that out.
It's amazing, dude. Please, like, text me and like tell me what you think about it.
Bro, if I could, I would have filmed it, but I think I'm gonna make a sketch. I think I'm gonna make that into a sketch one day. Just have that. It's like,
yeah, it's part of my morning ritual.
Just some like hella domesticated dude, just like 9 to 5.
Goes home, takes his fucking 7 o'clock fucking shower, just rips into a fucking
that's how he just lets go of everything,
That's so he doesn't kill his fucking boss, dude. It's the only way to fucking kill that guy.
That's how you get through it, man. But yeah, so the documentary, we filmed it. It was like a 2-day shoot, 3-day shoot actually. Yeah, so it was 3-day shoot. We did it. We got done. It was the first time that I was working with someone else or someone who had a backup camera. So
that's cool.
So I was directing my friend, Marco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was directing Marco. He was the second cameraman.
Is he also an editor?
No, Marco is not an editor. He's more of a creative director, content creator type of person.
Okay.
But not an editor. I'm trying to get him to edit and like learn how to edit, but he's like so scared of it. Like, I'm not even lying. Like he's like, I don't know what all the buttons do, and I'm like, dude, just fucking let me help you. But yeah, we're working that out. But yeah, so we filmed it. It was a very fun experience. We're gonna talk about this more on like the Lost Millennials podcast once the project's out.
Yep.
But definitely, a Taupe Talk just came out this past week on Wednesday, where I talked about learning or just doing instead of just learn by doing, basically.
That's how you should do it.
Yeah, it's what I've done my whole life, throughout my whole career. I've just done something and just learned through my mistakes. But that's exactly what I did. Marco and I, we could have, or the whole Lost Millennial crew, basically, we could have debated on, doing documentaries. We could have debated on doing productions and other things like that. We could have debated everything, but since we actually got out there and started doing it, I learned like 10 times more than I would have learned just by behind a computer.
Dude, that's the issue with the education system in general, man.
Man, I'm just such a hands-on person. Some people, again, they're visual, auditory learners, but like
I have to
humans,
do it.
I feel like humans on fundamental level, they just learn faster. The brain just processes everything faster once it's right in front of you, and like once it's crunch time.
Here's what I believe is the way that human beings learned initially, and I think it's different now than when we were like roaming the plains, because we have language now. Like a really sophisticated language that's kind of like in our thoughts, which is fucking like already like a crazy concept as it is. Right? Like, you ever thought about that? Like, what the fuck would we think if we didn't know language?
Like, how would we communicate?
We'd have to think in pictures. That's the only way that I could conceive.
That's how they did. That's how
they thought it was like they're visual thinkers, right? They were visual thinkers. So they would see something like, I don't know, they just
cave paintings, bro.
No, that's what they would be like. They'd be like, I keep noticing all those gazelles seem to run at this time of day when the sun is at that point in the sky. So maybe if I set up shop at this time of day, I can kill a gazelle. And so fucking caveman Joe fucking sets up at that time of day. I got to kill the gazelle by doing that. I'm going to do this more often and kill more gazelles. And then he's going to have more food. And then he learned something because he had a visual thought of an action that he could perform. Then he brought that visual thought into manifested it into reality. Yeah. Fucking learned from the experience. And that's how fucking humans learn before a language. Because they had language, but they didn't have like sophisticated, complicated languages that literally make up your thoughts.
Exactly.
Which is fucking crazy.
So what were you talking about?
How you learn hands-on, how people should learn hands-on. But I mean, I guess if it works for you, that you can read a book and then you can fucking execute just as well as.
But I tried that. Listen, I tried that. I've learned. I've had like, again, on my phone, I've got a bunch of audiobooks, bunch of books. in my room and everything about filmmaking, topography, camera angles, and all that stuff. But I've honestly learned more through the internet, just actual videos of people doing it hands on themselves and explaining
Yeah, why the
it.
fuck does college even exist anymore?
Bro, I don't
We
honestly.
have the internet.
Bro, if I wasn't such a bitch, I don't think I would have ever graduated high school. Like, if I would have gotten on my grind faster, high school wouldn't have been even a thing.
Well, do you think you're gonna graduate college?
I'm at my parents' house, so I'd like to not talk about that. But yeah, you know where it's going.
Yeah, I know exactly
Yeah,
what
you
that
could
means.
infer that.
No.
Exactly. But so yeah, I learned a lot by just just getting out there, filming myself, learning all the mistakes that I did make, and how to cover those mistakes. And there'll be like a whole series that I'll make, I guess. That's the thing I like to do nowadays. I've learned when you're making one thing, you could make like let's say I'm like editing this documentary, right? Or I'm filming this documentary. So with the documentary, the behind the scenes will also be pushed out. Behind the scenes where I'm telling Marco the specifics of each camera angle that I'm using, each lens
cool.
I'm using.
How long is this thing?
I'm trying to keep it under 8 minutes, but it's probably gonna run 11 minutes with all the footage that we have. Like the interview alone we did was like.
Are you posting this on your channel?
No, it'll be under the Lost Millennials channel.
Okay.
Yeah, so where this podcast is going live. Yeah. So, so that's gonna go out, or even now. This past week, I pushed out like 3 videos. Right, I pushed out a Tope Talks, which me again talking about learning by doing, and then I pushed out also. I did a screen recording of my screen while I'm editing throughout the whole way. Right, literally everything I did for the edit.
That's cool. Yeah,
and then I just sped that up like 8 times since it was like an hour long to get it down to like 6 minutes, and I'm just gonna post that. So I'm making the most of the smallest time. So this way I've had like 2-3 videos that I can post up now, where in reality I would have, or in the past, in like 6 months ago, I would have only had like 1 video to post. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, break it down, more content.
Yeah. So like
more content, greater likelihood of
Yeah, it's more publicity, it's more content for people to watch, people to connect with, and for someone who's actually learning how to edit newly.
Well, what's your audience, man? That's the question.
I don't really know, because YouTube on my own personal channel, I don't have much of an audience yet, since my other channel got deleted for things we won't talk about.
How many subscribers are on that one?
On the old one?
Yeah.
Like 55.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, it was a gradual growth, but it was.
But was it like all your videos and shit were lost?
Yeah, basically everything.
That's fucked.
Yeah, everything was lost.
Give me my shit.
Yeah, but the good thing is I have a backup of all my videos, so
that's good.
Good. But still, I still like to see like that 200 views on my very first cinematic video. You know what I'm saying?
It feels good.
Yeah, I remember when I broke that first like 250 mark on the video. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
But it's crazy to you that like right now it's like 250, and then like in 10 years it could be like 10 million. You know what I mean? Like then what is the fucking like whoa?
For me though, it's not. It's gonna sound very asshole-ish of me.
Well, it's not about the numbers.
No, it's like I know I'll reach that point.
Yeah.
I like, that's the thing about me. It's like, oh, it's not about the numbers, or I just got lucky, or I never thought about that. That's bullshit. I own a production studio, right? That's the whole goal of it, to get the views, to not to get views and get paid, but to put my story out there and have people listen to what I'm telling them, right? Listen to stories through my eyes, through my brain, and just tell them to shut up for 10 minutes and just watch this fucking video. This is my vision, 100%. No one else.
Well, how crazy is it when people like you enough to do that shit?
What?
Give you fucking 10 minutes of their time because they want to?
That's the craziest thing, dude.
That's
even
fucking nuts.
A minute of someone's time is so important. A minute of my time is so important. But every now and then I catch myself listening to this podcast or watching that video because I'm intrigued by it, because I want to learn something from it. And
dude, we could talk about that forever.
Bro, I could talk about fucking views and all that stuff. Or not views, but I could talk about people's attention all day.
where do you put your attention? I mean, that tells you a lot about who you are.
Yeah, that tells you a lot about who you are, what your priorities are in life.
Well, what do you think about the most? That's what you are. I mean, seriously, like, you want to be like, nah, bro, I'm in the street. I'm hustling. I'm making all kinds of dollar bills, y'all. But really, all you think about is who with this girl you want to fuck. That's what you are. You're a fuckboy. You're not an entrepreneur. You're a fuckboy. And you're lying to yourself, you stupid bitch. It's like the worst thing, man. It's the worst thing. Lying to yourself is literally worse than lying to others. Because if you're true with yourself, you're true with others. Fact of life. If you're real with yourself, you're real with others.
If you can come to reality and be like, yeah, I am a fuckboy.
Then you're not a fuckboy anymore. Dude, or at least you know you're one.
You know you're one, so you'll make those proper steps to if you don't like being a fuckboy.
You won't, and you'll just know it.
Yeah.
Or at least then you'll own it. Because here's the thing. Here's 100% the fact of like just life itself. If you are real with yourself, you are real with other people. 100% of the time. You don't see, if you don't lie to yourself, you don't lie to others. Fucking fact.
Exactly. No, so I could connect with that too. For the longest time, I was like, again, we're going back to like my tennis days when I was like good at tennis, but I was very self-conscious because I didn't want anyone from school to know that I played tennis or I'm like big, because I just didn't want.
Yeah, I know, you kept that shit with me like low key too. I was like, oh my god,
bro, I kept it low key with even my best friends, like Marco. He didn't know for the longest time. But yeah, so I kept it hella low key because I didn't want attention to be on me. I never even tried out for my tennis team at high school, my freshman and sophomore year, because I was like, nah, I'm just not gonna do it. My coach knew, but I asked him just to keep it quiet and not tell anyone. So when I did join, I acted like I was ass on the team, right?
Just to like keep it cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I can't be too good or else they'll get suspicious of me or some shit like that. But again, so I lied to myself a lot, which I think was one of the reasons. Now that I think about it, I could have been like vlogging back. Like, imagine if I would have started vlogging as a pro tennis player back in high school.
Dude, you would have got you already had a huge audience.
Yeah, and this is before like I actually started YouTube recently, which I started at the end of senior year, right? Imagine like freshman year, I started recording everything. Started recording my practices, started recording like just random shit, right? It doesn't matter because
But at the same time, like, okay, so let's say your life followed that exact same trajectory. The only difference is that you started recording at freshman year instead of senior. What happens when you did decide like to just make that transition? Do you think that fan group would still follow you over? Because it's a whole different thing now. Like, they're watching you for tennis and now you're doing fucking editing. Like, who's to say they'd stay?
Well, see, if I would have kept up with the tennis vlogs, I would have already been editing at that point, right?
Yeah.
I'm filmmaking now because I got injured. Like, if we were really talking like...
So you would have never done it. You would have never done it.
I would have never been in filmmaking if I would have never injured myself. And some could say if I was vlogging, right, I would never have been... my friend and I at the time would have never been in the position to me having that injury or me getting to that accident, right? We would be like somewhere in New York, we'd be like vlogging somewhere cool at a restaurant. So it's like if I would have picked it up back then, we're all playing in what ifs, but it's not like I'm being spiteful or something like that.
No, yeah, because like here's the thing, it's like, cool to look backwards and speculate, but like at the end of the day, here I am. This is the situation. Make this work.
Yeah, so that's the hand I was dealt with, right? I couldn't continue.
Anybody can win. This is for all the people.
Yeah, look at me, like
anyone can win.
Yeah, so I couldn't play tennis, but now I'm one of the biggest content creators, or I'm the lead content creator on Off-Season Tennis, which is a sporting like brand, and for their tennis division and all their sports divisions, I make all their content, I write all their content, I get to do a lot of things, help schedule everything and do all that for their company, right? Just because I can't I wasn't involved in tennis or sports physically anymore, it didn't keep me away from sports, right? I found a new way to get into sports to
do what you enjoy, right?
Yeah. So that's what I've been like. That's why I get so pissed off at people who are like, "Oh, I couldn't do this because of this," and I'm like,
"Oh yeah, dude." When I herniated, when I herniated the disc in my back, and I still deal with like occasional like I'm pretty much gonna have like this low level back pain probably forever, and it doesn't matter, right? Like, there's nothing wrong down there. That shit's fine. It's just like, pain is a super interesting topic that we could discuss. I could literally talk about for hours and hours because it's fucking bizarre.
Bro, we should basically just have a one.
Bro, we can talk forever, bro. We could do like an 8-hour podcast, dog. Like, we could just go and go.
Live stream our podcast one day, which is totally possible during like some break. we easily 8+ hours of just us talking about random shit.
I feel like you and I are so similar minded that like that shit could really like go some places.
That's why I love you on the podcast, because like I can actually vibe out with you, and then we're on the same.
It's always good to talk to you. Always good to talk to you. But anyway, make this long story really, really short. So anyways, pain, long story short, right? Mm-hmm. You can have chronic pain from an injury. Like say you fucking tear your rotator cuff, you get surgery, and the pain never goes away. That injury is completely healed. There's nothing physiologically wrong with that fucking shoulder. It's completely fine. But the conditioned pain stimulus that has existed for so long makes you think you have pain there, even though there's nothing wrong. Same thing with my lower back. Yeah. That's healed. There's nothing wrong there. Or it's mostly healed. It's good, you know? So even though like when I deadlift or something or when I squat, there's like a twinge of pain, it's literally nothing. It's just my body going, this hurt me once, this hurt me once, this hurt me once. That's all it's doing. My back is like, I'm giving out. It's like, it's just fucking don't do it again, dumbass. Yeah. Which is reasonable. But the doctor told me you'll never squat or deadlift again. And I was like, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want. So I do. I still squat. I still deadlift. I still fucking live my life. I'm getting bigger and stronger and faster. And, you know, I dude, lifting as a whole, a lot of people do it for vanity. I do it because that shit makes you fucking grow emotionally.
That shit changes for you.
Oh yeah, dude, this is fucking awesome. For you, just turn on some angry fucking music and just
just get the animosity out of you, which is why you do the Kiwi thing.
Yeah, dude, fucking crazy guy. Bro. Dude, if I didn't have these outlets, I'd probably kill people or something. That's a joke. That's a joke. Please calm down, modern America.
Oh my god. All right, but again, that's crazy that you're deadlifting even after your doctor said like, nah, you might not be able to.
Because, dude, doctors just cover their asses. If you do your... word of advice. Always do your own research.
Yeah.
The best advice is to take no advice. Just fucking do your own research, find credible sources, and then make your own decision.
That's the biggest thing. Find credible sources. Don't just look at stuff on, like, Facebook or, like, BuzzFeed or something and be like, oh, they said I can't eat avocado, so my doctor must be wrong.
No, dude, here's the thing. Okay, an orthopedic surgeon, you know what they care about? Not getting sued.
Yeah, they're like, I covered the bases, you know, I shouldn't do this.
So what's a great way for me to never hurt my back? Never fucking pick things up off the floor. That's not really much of an option, given that I'm alive.
Yeah, like, so it's like...
Given that I have to fucking move and operate the world. So what makes more sense? Me just, I can't pick that up. That weighs more than 50 pounds. My doctor said, fuck you. No, I'm going to get these muscles back here as strong as possible to support that injured area so that when life happens, I can handle it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not probably going to be out there setting any fucking crazy powerlifting goals, but like, just exercise.
I've never worked out to actually like set goals or like break records. I just work out so I'm literally harder to kill. It sounds so fucked up, but
I'm harder to kill.
Basically, so if like someone tries fucking with me out in like the middle of nowhere, like I'll put up a fight. Like if I'm stronger, like there's definitely.
If I hit you and I work out, it's gonna hurt more than if I hit you and I don't work out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so I'm like harder to kill, because I think that's like the most bitch weighted. I'm not even gonna get into it. Like just getting killed by someone.
Dude, we need to do a longer podcast for sure.
Oh my god, dude!
We have way more than
8 hours, but we have reached the 43-minute mark. Good podcast. It was a good podcast. Do you have anything else to say, Nick? Anything you'd like to plug?
I don't have anything I want to plug for myself, but I want to tell you people, right, watching this right here, right now. This is about confidence, right?
Yeah.
You're watching this shit because you saw the title that said it something to do with confidence. That appealed to you, which means you lack confidence. So listen to what we said and fucking go act. You're going to be the same person forever until you just grow a pair of testicles. And if you're a woman, I don't know, bigger titties or something. I don't know what the female equivalent is. You're beautiful no matter what. Please don't hate me. And just fucking go out there and act. Just act on what you want to do and fuck it. Like, let go of the outcome. Like, that's the biggest thing is fuck the outcome.
Yeah.
Focus on the work, fuck the outcome. All right, I'm done.
All right. Well, yeah, same thing from me. Just do your work. Just don't care about what the world's doing because everyone's going to die one day, right? Like, honestly, I think I heard Gary Vee say this once. Like, we're all one diagnosis away from being terminally ill.
Yep.
Right?
That's fucking heavy.
Like, that's the craziest thing, right? Like, every day you get closer to dying, so it's like, fucking...
Dude, yeah, like it gets even deeper than that. This shit is ending 1 second at a time.
Yeah, you're just getting closer to the end. So it's like
tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, so it's like you really don't have much time. Like 40 years, 50 years, 60 years.
Yeah, however long you fucking make it, it doesn't really make much difference.
Yeah, so
But people
just do what you want to do.
Don't get too focused on the end goal. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Don't get too focused on the end goal. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I think
don't
that's
live a
what
life for
makes,
someone else.
Yeah, I think that's why I love doing what I do. It's like I don't really care about getting the 10 million views, but I love like just editing and like grinding towards those views.
Dude, I love rapping more than comedy.
Exactly. Just putting in the work. Like I think the whole process of making something
yeah, it's awesome.
The actual like reward of it. Like I could care less. Like I never understood this until like again Gary Vee said this, but like blowing up and like becoming like a huge personality, that's just that's just not fun after some point. It's like
no, that's tough.
It's just not fun. Just
dude, imagine being in the eyes of those fucking people, man.
Bro, like Justin Bieber, like I feel bad for the dude. Like
the pressure. Oh, dude, the fuck. And then people wonder, like, well, Justin Bieber was a dick to that paparazzo. Can you fucking blame him? This is imagine every single day. You second you come out of your house. Oh, what's going on? Hey,
no, dude. Recently with the Stranger Things kids.
Oh, that's fucking sad.
Outside their hotel room, these guys are 14. There's adults waiting outside their hotel rooms asking for a picture, and when the kid like says no, they're like, "Oh, dude, this kid's such a dick." We're the fans that made him famous. Like, bro, first off, he's a kid. He's not obligated to.
You didn't fucking make him famous. He made himself fucking famous.
He's a great actor. He got hired for that show.
He's fucking good. Dude, I fucking hate that shit.
Unless
you made him famous. Recruiter,
fuck you. Unless you're the director or recruiter for the TV show, you're not.
You just watched me.
Yeah, you paid for it. That doesn't mean anything. Your money was already used. All right.
And if you're a fan of mine, thank you. Like I appreciate that, but don't expect shit from me.
Seriously, like anyone who watches something from mine, it's like I'm very humbled, right?
Right, grateful.
But I am the one making content. Like your constructive criticism is welcome, I guess, but to a certain extent.
I'm probably not gonna listen.
Yeah, it's like you could talk whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I like making what I like.
So your creative process, do it your way.
Exactly. And with that being said, we're gonna hit them with the music, Nick, and we're gonna bounce. Again, all the links to everyone's social media is going to be in the description below. Go follow our SoundCloud. The podcast goes live like a day earlier, 2 days earlier, if I remember, on there. What else? Subscribe to the Lost Millennials podcast. Subscribe to the Sunday Vibes podcast. Go follow Nick on Instagram. He's a very funny man. He posts great health stuff every now and then when he does post.
I'm a discount Justin Bieber if you're into that.
But with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Crystal Clouds. You can go check out his music with the link below. All free music to you. Just ask him. He'll say, yeah, you're good. And then Dapper Ties. They make great ties. Go check them out. They're very lovely people who are sponsoring the podcast. And we'll see you next time. Bye. 1, 2, 3, and we're gone.